I'm sure most of you have already heard that David Schwartz has stepped down. David Schwartz is the Chief Technology Officer over at Ripple. He also happens to be the guy who filed the first digital ledger or distributive ledger technology for the XRP ledger back in 1988. Go take a look at our bulletin here. You'll find it here in our profile page, and check it out. I mean, they're doing bulletins now on TikTok, so I'm throwing in information as we go, so you can always go back and refer to it. So he's stepping down, and some people are like, "Oh, what does that mean?" You know what? I don't know why it is all these fudsters. Well, I know why it is. They always want to make it seem like, this one's it. This is the bad thing, and it's always the exact opposite. For me, this is exciting because it tells me that all systems go. His piece is done. He's been one of the originators. He worked on Bitcoin, and you're about to see that from his own words. But we're going to make some interesting observations in his statement here as he leaves Ripple. But he's still going to be in and out of the company. He's going to be on the board, so he's not disappeared. He'll still be there to guide some of it. But you have to know there are far more capable people that have been hired by Ripple since and developed by Ripple since. So I don't think there's anything to really worry about. So let's take a quick look at his statement and kind of pick it apart a little bit as we go. So he says, as it happens in one's life, I've been taking stock of my last 40 years. It's been a wild ride. I've gone from consulting for the NSA, in his own words, to watching the early stages of Bitcoin. They're related, guys. He worked on it. He, I believe, is one of the Satoshis. There should be 4 of them. Then I met Arthur. That's Arthur Brito, the guy who started Ripple. Jed and Chris. Jed McCaleb. Jed McCaleb was the first guy who started Mt. Gox. Just happens to be the first crypto exchange ever. He goes on to help co-found Ripple. And then he takes off, sets up XLM and Stellar Lumens. And now he's off building space something or another, some kind of space deal. And also Chris Larson is the current CFO of Ripple and worked on coding the XRP ledger. So yeah, he worked on Bitcoin and then he went on to set up XRP. I believe it was XRP first. He filed the patent for distributive ledger technology, remember. So he says, now I've spent more than 13 years at Ripple. I can't begin to explain the depth of my gratitude to this company, the people who work here, and the community that surrounds the XRP ledger. It's been one of the greatest honors and experiences of his life, second only to his amazing family. He goes on to say, the time has come for me to step back from my day-to-day duties as Ripple CTO at the end of this year. I'm really looking forward to spending more time with the kids and grandkids and going back to the hobbies I set aside. But be warned, I'm not going away from the XRP community. You haven't seen the last of me now or ever. Yeah, we're going to see him on social media a lot. And he goes on to say, the last few months have been, he's been tinkering on the side, spinning up his own XRPL node and publishing its output data, researching other use cases for XRP besides what Ripple is focused on. And more, he truly enjoys this part, getting his hands dirty, talking to builders, coding for the pure love of it, and he's really excited to get back to that. More to come on this very soon, he's sure. Now, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind, this isn't the last part, but I just want you to focus. From my perspective, with my investment dollars, I'm going to keep a close eye on what he's associated with, what he's working on, what he's building. Because if anybody knows what can be done with the XRP ledger over, above, and beyond what's already been established, it's going to be him, and it's going to be valuable in my opinion. So I'm going to keep a sharp eye on that personally, looking for some investment opportunities if there are any. So that's going to be my approach. You may do with that information what you will. Let's go on to the final part. So he says, but back to gratitude to Brad and Monica. He's the CEO and Monica's a president. Leaders who have been here really as long as I have and are the very soul of Ripple itself. To Chris, who took a huge leap of faith and never wavered. To Arthur Brito, who had the big ideas every time we needed them. To the Ripple X team, ledger developers, community members, builders, and everyone else. It's been an honor being in the trenches with you all. Thank you for everything you have done for the XRP Ledger. I have total confidence in the next generation of leaders and the builders, including Dennis Jarosh, Ripple's SVP of Engineering, and far too many others to name in the XRP community who will carry the torch. I'll still be in and out of the Ripple office as CTO Emeritus, and as my last task at Ripple, Chris asked me to join Ripple's board of directors to continue supporting the company's mission and long-term vision, and I accept. I look forward to seeing the rest of you at XRP community events around the world. Joel Katz. Joel Katz is his, his pseudonym that he goes by on social media. It's his alter ego, so to speak. So it's interesting because he's going to step away from his day-to-day responsibilities over at Ripple. Hold on. And so, but he's not going to be gone. I guess for me, that's like all systems go. He's not going to finish up till the end of the year. What's going to happen before then? We're going to have all these ETFs. We're going to have more Fed rate cuts. We're going to have ISO 20022 going mandatory. The money that was approved through the Big Beautiful Bill and all the things that were done through the Genius Act, all the stablecoin issues, that's all going to start to foment. It's going to start to grow. It's going to start to build into this huge tailwind. And then what do we have toward the end of the year? The Clarity Act. So that's the crescendo, right? So he leaves right at the end of all of that just to make sure to guide the ship, so to speak. But there are some capable people, capable coders over at Ripple. And so there has to be, of course, right? But he's going to be there in case they need to go to him for a little bit of guidance here and there. But he wouldn't be stepping away unless there were capable people there to take the helm. So this is a positive thing for me. And other people have left Ripple over the years and gone on to start other projects that have become pretty interesting projects. But because they're a part in the story, in the Ripple story, in the changing of money, in the new financial system story with Ripple and XRPL, their piece has been taken care of. And Joel Katz, or David Schwartz, which is his real name, was a major part of both Bitcoin and XRP, make no mistake. And I do have that patent in the bulletin also. You can go look at it. And he said he's got his own node. Well, go look. There's also a graphic that shows how much more decentralized XRP is versus Ethereum and Bitcoin. So just look at it's like a 3 pie chart. You're going to see it. And on the right is going to be Ripple. It's all equal shares. So every time there's a new node, they split everything up into equal shares again. So they get smaller and smaller, more and more decentralized. And now David Schwartz has his own node. That's interesting. So for me, it's positive. It's bullish. This is my logic. Doesn't have to be yours. But I haven't been wrong yet. And so I do expect this to, I think it greenlights a lot of things in my mind. I've never wavered from XRP because I was very certain about it early on. I did a lot of homework on it from the get-go. I had lunch with a couple of friends today. Well, with one friend, and I met his business partner. And they were good enough to pay for lunch, so thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. It was great. I had a good time. This is one of the people that I played pickleball with. And he invited me out to lunch. I guess he wanted to pick my brain about this a little bit and talk to his business partner. And so we had a really good, pleasant lunch. But we were talking about a lot of these things that have happened with Ripple over the years. And they did ask, how did I get into it? How was I certain about it? So I went over some of that, and I did a lot of homework. You know, I went and looked at everybody's LinkedIn profile. I looked at the technology. I tested it. I looked at all the connections in the past. On up to the point before I even put $1 single into it. I understood what was going on. I understood what it was. I never really got Bitcoin to begin with. But if I'd have known all the connections I knew the day I started researching it, or at least those days, it was quite a while, a week or so. But when I first started getting into it, if I would have known those connections early on, I would have invested in Bitcoin early, understanding that it was the head fake, but it was going to be more valuable, far more valuable than it was in those days. But I didn't know it, so I had to get in when I found out and when I realized what I was looking at. That may be today for many of you. So let me know what you think in the comments. Till next time, adios amigos.